A very good evening to you and welcome to NTV Sport Knights. My name is Mebo Kebirunji. Glad you could join us this third day of June 2024, which is Mother's Day here in Uganda. Happy Mother's Day. I do hope you had great celebrations wherever you were. It's also a very historic day as the Uganda Cricket Cranes, as you can see me here supporting them, take part in their first ever T20 World Cup tournament in Guyana. The game will be live at 3 a.m. Uganda time. So I hope, we can stay up and support the guys. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Also on the show today, we'll be speaking to the assistant coach and team captain of Kawempe Muslim on their winning formula. Joining us later is an executive committee member from FUFA, Mr. Rogers Byamukama, as we talk about what will be happening on Friday and Monday as Uganda Cranes will be playing some games, and we have some tickets to give away. So do keep following us on X and even to the show this evening, and you will find a way. Probably you'll be one of our winners in the show today as we give out some tickets. So we will start by asking you who you think our sports personality for this week is. The picture is on the screen and the clue is there. The boy from Flamengo. The boy from Flamengo. Who do you think that person is? Do let us know. Remember to use the hashtag at NTV Sport Knights. And also for our greatest of all time, on Saturday evening, as we saw Zinedine Zidane carry the trophy. I don't know how many times he has touched the trophy, but what is your greatest memory of Zinedine Zidane? I think we're all in agreement. He is a GOAT, whatever capacity you want to put him in, either as a coach or as a player. But what is your greatest memory of Zinedine Zidane? And to our predictions, well, at least most of us got that one, the final correct, I'm sure. We do have the scores on the screen. I don't think anyone gave Dortmund a chance. We'll be talking about the final. Well, yeah, Andrew, I don't know why you're
I thought we had agreed with the producer that this is not coming on air.
But anyway, we are, do let us know what you think. Today we'll be talking about basketball and of course cricket as Uganda continues to fly our flag. They will be playing against Afghanistan today, later this morning, and Papua New Guinea. Do let us know your thoughts, as well as Australia versus England and India versus Pakistan, as well as the NBA title. Who do you think will take it? Without further ado, I welcome the panel this evening. Head of Sport Nation Media Group, Isma Dakaba Chigongo. Good evening.
Good evening, Mebo. Glad to be here on what, like you've stated, is going to be a very, very long night. When I was first introduced to cricket as a young boy in Iganga Boys Boarding Primary School, the word World Cup did not ring a bell. And I can imagine for so many of the boys right now in Guyana, it was never the dream to imagine that Uganda has tried to qualify for a World Cup on 22 occasions, any kind of World Cup in cricket, and then eventually they get here. It's an amazing feeling. For a country that was only recognized by the International Cricket Council in the mid-90s, and to see players like Franco Nsoboga at 43 now gets a chance to play in the World Cup. It's amazing. I've tried to control myself because I'm very, very passionate. I call myself a cricket ultra. I've tried to control my emotions around the game, around what Uganda is about to undertake. And it's not going to do anything with the result or the runs, even if they get zero. Even if they're all out for zero. Yeah, they're in a World Cup, a team World Cup, which is not by invitation.
Yeah, you should have been there. I know we'll talk about Guyana later on. Probably if it was New York or Texas where they had the grand opening. Mrs. Ntale, Sports Pundit, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Mebo, and I'm glad to be here. And also, I'm glad that there are some people in Nakasek, Jericho, who are watching. Yeah, and I welcome them. Thank you for being a part of the show. Things like World Cup, to me too, I think that's the new language to Uganda. So for cricket
it's
cranes,
possible.
whether they have won, whether, congratulations already, once again. I mean, we said it when they had just qualified, but congratulations to be out there and representing us. We are proud of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nation Media Group writer and walker, Andrew Mwangu here, good evening.
And runner.
And walker, runner, yes. Because I walk, I think everyone's a walker.
Good evening, Mabel. Happy to be here and happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, Clive Chaze will be joining us. I don't know if he's still at Wembley or if he's in transit, but he'll be bringing us the very latest, what the mood has been since the finals on Saturday. NTV Sport Knights is proudly brought to you by Predator, and they support your hustle in whatever it is you do. You can get a bottle for only 2,000 shillings. Isma, what's your starter for the week?
My startup for the week is a bit obvious because it's got to be rugby because I spent my Saturday afternoon in great company, but also I spent it watching rugby. A huge crowd, mammoth crowd that showed up at Chadondo for the finale of the Nile Special Rugby Championship, a game involving Heathens in yellow and Pirates in black. Which was a title decider. Like I've stated many times on the show, the format for this season was tweaked quite a bit because previously teams would play round robin and then the winner goes on to take the championship. What the Union did is this time they played a one-legged league phase, and then the top 8 teams played quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals. Number 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. In the end, we finished with number 1 and 3 as the 2 finalists. The Heathens and then the Pirates. And Heathens emerged as victors, winning the game 15-13 to win their 17th league title, coming their first game in 1991, 33 years ago. Of course, not much has changed about Uganda since then. But in the game itself, I thought Heathens started the better side, especially holding on to the possession a bit longer. It actually took Pirates about 55 minutes to get going. But when they did, they give everyone a bloody scare because Ivan Magom, their captain, decided to turn on the afterburners and beat the line, broke the line repeatedly with so much ease. And eventually from one of those they got 2 tries, from 2 of those they got 2 tries and pushed the game to a position where Heathens could have almost thrown it away. And at that point they were leading 12-3, but those tries that Pirates scored pulled the game within a margin where had Pirates got maybe a penalty at the end they could have pounced. But in the end, perhaps whatever the Uganda Rugby Union was seeking when they changed the format of the league is what they got. Because ordinarily by this time, if it was round robin, if you're Heathens or Cobs or Pirates, if you beat the other position, then you're as good as champions. But this went down to the final whistle of the final day of the season, as eventually the Heathens held off Pirates to ensure that they're champions again. And in those pictures, you see Michael Okorach, the captain, receiving the trophy. The happy faces there. Malcolm Okello, I think one of those you'll see in the pictures, doing most of the kicking for the Heathens, but in the final, he missed 2 that didn't cost his team the title in the end. That's the kid, Malcolm Okello, quite a gem. Whereas the number 15, and the trophy there was delivered by Don Rukare from the Uganda Olympic Committee, and Majok Amu, the marketing director of Nile Breweries, to eventually hand it to Heathens, who, for me, for all the sports I watch in this country, are probably the most mentally tough sports side in Uganda. Heathens do not know when they've lost. They win all the close games. If a game goes within 2 points, you almost guarantee Heathens will get that one. And they hardly lose the big games. They never lose the big games. Actually, I was having a debate after a game that how do you beat a game that is as mentally tough as those guys in yellow? And I could only imagine you have to get out of blocks quickly and maybe put 20, 30 points on the board, and then Heathens give up on it, and then you're champion. But big congratulations to Heathens and the organization.
Yeah.
I was also very unlucky that I left quite early after the game. but I was told the party at Chadondo, as you know, the good thing with rugby that you don't have to understand what a try or penalty or conversion is. That's why when you're walking by, some of the conversations are, let's exchange beers, yeah? In fact, a few years ago, I found, I walked past people who were exchanging, one was giving the other chicken for pork. Yeah. So, and you know, the atmosphere around rugby, and perhaps it's a bit of a culture, because the other place I've been to watch rugby games in Kenya, it's a proper party. I've been to South Africa and I was covering the Rugby World Cup in South Africa, and the event around the rugby becomes only a small part of what is happening. Even people who do not care about the game, the atmosphere that is created around those games is quite satisfying. And Uganda has tried, the sponsors of the league have tried to replicate that. That's why when some of us are leaving at 7:30 because we are aging, there's a lot of people streaming in, and you almost want to tell them the game is done.
The
Go
night
home.
has just begun for them.
Yeah, but big congratulations in the end to Heathens. The other things that happen after rugby, I'll assign someone to come and tell you about them. But I understand the things that happen within the four lines.
Pomp and circumstance, the color, as they do, as they show them. Daniel, what's your startup for the week?
Well, mine is also about champions. I mean, it's been a weekend of competition and teams winning, but this time coming from the game of volleyball, where the KCB Nkumba Ladies Volleyball Club came from 2-0 to go ahead and beat Ndeje University Elites by 3-2 in game 3 to claim to win the national championship. And of course, they are the ladies champions right now. A game that was that lived up to the billing, highly anticipated. Of course, Nkumba failing to seal it in game 2 and waiting for game 3. Whoever was to win yesterday was going to be crowned champions, but it was a sad story for Ndeje University Elites, because they dominated the regular season with a record 18, and then going on to, you know, inflicting a defeat on Nkumba themselves during regular seasons, home and away. So you expected them to put up that kind of fight, although of course they have not had some of their star players featuring so well. The likes of Mwamula, you know, Maureen Mwamula, she was one of their star performers when they won the league 2 years ago, but this time around she didn't turn up. Her form was not so good to be able to support the team. But then it was some game, you know, a big comeback for Nkumba, especially that they were the underdogs coming into the third game, game 3. And them winning, it was massive, I must say, because it has not been very easy. I mean, against a side that has been so good during regular season, and the underdogs. But looking at how Nkumba performed, they really relied a lot on some of their players like Habiba Namala, there is Hadija Otin and Jennifer Longat, who have been standout performers during the entire competitions. And of course, we can only say congratulations to them. They will be representing at the Africa Volleyball Championships, and now they are looking at the future and what they can give the country maybe as they go out there at the continent.
Okay, thank you. Andrew, what's your starter for the week?
My starter is, I'm excited about it. Last Wednesday, a group of enthusiastic runners from the running community, led by Team Matoke, hosted a send-off event just here in Kampala. And that event was to see off over 25 Ugandans, some people call them crazy Ugandans, who are going to run in an iconic marathon called the Comrades Marathon. That's Team Matoke there. That's the fastest Ugandan, by the way, who did the marathon, the Comrades, last year in 6 hours and 49 minutes. So most of us fly out of the country on Thursday. Others have left, and the race is on June 9th, which is Sunday. We'll be live on Super Sports all day from 5:30 a.m. till late. Ismail, you have a program there. So I'm excited about this race because sometime this time last year, I reported about it. And most of but there are 3 girls, that's Bonita, and we have Janet Nakazi, that's Janet, who is doing it, I don't know, for the 3rd time now. And then we have another lady called Doreen Luanga, who's coming from the States as well to do it. So we have 3 ladies in that team, as you see there. So I'm excited about it. We are going to run 86 kilometers. I think they were fair to us because last year it was 87.7, but because of a few, a stretch of roadworks.
Like it makes a difference.
Yeah, about a kilometer.
1.7 kilometers.
1.7 kilometers.
When you've done 86?
But the difference is, so the Comrades Marathon is run in two ways. It alternates. So last year was a down run, meaning runners started from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. This year it's an up run, meaning we are going up the hills, the elevation from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. Now, the first 36 kilometers are all hills. Ooh. Yes. So the elevation goes all the way 870 meters. That's, I think, the highest hill. But you go, you don't like descend, like you go, you can have a jump and then continue. So we'll start like this time around the up run from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. And it's interesting the kind of people who are doing this race. We have, most of them are recreational runners, but these are people like you. Ismail.
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Because as you can explain that, because I was thinking so many people out there, and I've seen people question you on Twitter, asking, so what, do you people have jobs? Are you people normal? Are you just rich with a lot of money, not knowing what to do? Because this is, you've talked of Durban, that's an air ticket. Who is the sponsor? Does Team Matoke pay for everyone?
Hey. Are you paying? Are you getting paid?
All these 25 people, are you rich people?
Actually, when we are jogging on the road, people are like, is there money?
So for those who are watching, you guys to be running.
I have to say, no one is paying us. Everything is on us, like myself.
You save for an air ticket
I'm paying for everything. For everything. Just no air ticket, accommodation, registration, qualifying.
Andrew, please put this into money.
You're really putting me on the spot.
Hey. Okay. Now, don't.
It's just under 10 million.
Okay.
Yeah. To be normal,
but it's a hobby,
5 days.
I guess.
So then, how much do you win?
Well, that's a good one. The people who win the race win over, I think it's about 2 million rand, 1 million rand or something. But those are people who do this race in 5-6 hours. Now, for you to get a medal, finisher's medal at least, you finish it in 11 hours and 59 minutes.
Okay.
So there are medals. So the gold medals are 6 and below. Gold medals, then you have a silver medal. Then there are 2 medals in between for those who finish in 8, those who finish in 9, those who finish in 10. Now, personally, and what you're going to fight for is what you train for. You have a training program for each medal. Personally, I trained for bronze medal, which is 11 hours and below. But then there's the last medal, which is the finisher's medal, which is under 12 hours. So I gave myself a license. If 11 hours fail, at least I'll still make it in the 12 hours as well. So there's seeding. So you start within your seeding. Mine is group H. So there's A, like that. So where your seeded is where you start. Now, just a little bit of background of why this race is iconic. This race is now over 100 years old. It's the oldest in the world. Yeah. It's capped at 25,000 people. And it was an idea of a veteran, a South African veteran called Vich Clayfam, who formed it after the First World War. There were several hundreds, if not thousands, of South Africans who were killed in the World War. And to celebrate them, to commemorate them, he started the Legends Marathon, the Comrades Marathon, to just, support humanity, like go and chase your dreams, endurance. How much can humankind, persevere? So the money to win is there, but I don't think any of us is in the. We have about 2 people, Colin Cherotich and Gaddafi. We call him Gaddafi Airlines, the man who was the best from Uganda last year. Those are actually going for it because Gaddafi got a silver medal last year. Wow. So they want to go for gold. And these people, like you asked, actually are employed. They work. Some of them are just getting into work. They take leave. They have off. So you just go run and come back. So it's going to be a Sunday of testing limits, of seeing what you can do, a whole day on the road alone where you'll ask yourself, why are you even doing this? Who has sent you? First of all, you've paid for your pain. but what it does to the mind, the mental clarity, to show you how much more you can be and how much you can do as a human, for me, is what is interesting. And the kind of, the people that you see there, it's a very rich community, and I don't mean rich in money, I mean rich in ideas, rich in the way you think, you know, family values, business, name it. So I'm looking forward, and Mebo and Ismail, we have two ladies who are going for this. One of them is going back to back.
Why do you mention my name then mention ladies? I'm a guy.
I'm trying to show you how strong, because we grew up knowing they are the fairer sex.
Yeah.
But to see that they are doing these enduring things for me.
Today, you know, someone was asking about why there were no female Uganda matters. I got to learn the one.
Yes. So yeah.
That's a big question.
Next, and when they come back from the comrades, please, this is an announcement. You guys will host me. I'm not doing the show as a panelist.
Yeah, sure thing. And Andrew, first of all, congs that you take that kind of path. I'm one of those who watches everything on TV. My friend always says, "Indaba nevi tankwatako." Yeah, but I love my television.
Yeah.
And I've watched the comrades, but I've never really been keen, because you switch on the TV at 6 a.m., these guys are on. You switch on the TV at 3 p.m., these guys are still on running. And I never really got an insight. I listen to commentary and understand. It's a bit like, you know, the other race in France, Loma 24, where guys are racing for 24 hours. It's very iconic. And actually, to be one of the greatest rally drivers, you have to almost do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before Michael Schumacher got his problems, he was. I've seen Fernando Alonso, my favorite Formula 1 driver. He's also done that, and I find Loma 24 crazy. That those guys, you sit in a car and race for 24 hours. 24 hours. Now to think, 86 kilometers from Kampala Oboliwa.
Kampala to Jinja, then add another 10 plus after 10 Jinja.
Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Your paskakira. Why?
And to qualify for it, you have to run a recognized marathon and finish it in 4 hours and 49 minutes. That's when you qualify to run it.
So which one did you run to qualify?
I failed in Kasese, then I went and qualified from Nairobi.
In Nairobi, yeah, I remember.
In Nairobi,
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew, for your start. And before we play our weekly Nightlights, a reminder to head over to X. Use the hashtag NTV Sport Knights. Let us know who you think this sports personality is. The clue is on the screen. Who do you think the sports personality is? The boy from Flamengo. The boy from Flamengo. And Zinedine Zidane. We all agree he's one of the greatest of all time. But what is the greatest memory you have of him? Or yeah, what stands out for you? But here now are our weekly Nightlights.